During the Cold War, communist revolutionary Fidel Castro launched a campaign against the corrupt Fulgencio Batista for 6 years until 1959, when he became Prime Minister of Cuba. His communist attitude created a pact between him and the USSR that would allow the superpower to transfer nuclear weapons to the small island nation. While we're not sure exactly how the revolution went down, we created a reenactment from eyewitness accounts.
¡Viva la revolución!
Here you go, sir.
What is this?
Here are the photos we got over Cuba yesterday.
What? I have to go.
Wait, Mr. Kennedy, wait!
Mr. President, what's happening?
Fidel Castro has nukes!
Following the discovery of the nukes, President Kennedy launched XCOM, a group of people made up of cabinet members, the National Security Council, and brothers to combat the Cubans. It went something like...
No, I meant XCOM. Greg, why did you edit this part? After meetings, XCOM decided to meet with the Russian ambassador, Andrei Gromyko, where they discussed the placement of the nukes. His attempts to assure Kennedy that the weapons were in place for defensive purposes and does not have to worry about anything nuclear. The public is yet to be aware of the nuclear warhead's presence out of fear of panic, so Kennedy decides to keep the crisis a secret until much later. Only meetings and nuclear testings occur by America and USSR that look like this. The next few days were very stressful, argued over how to handle the Cuba issue and how to solve them. I would also like to say how hectic it was. One of the options they had chosen was to create a quarantine in Cuba. It wasn't the most aggressive of moves and kept the US in check. Castro, however, was not a fan.
Muévete or be moved.
It did not come until October 22nd that Kennedy personally informed the public of the crisis and was now considering an all-out invasion of the island.
It shall be the policy of this great nation to regard any nuclear missiles in the Cuba as an attack on the Western Hemisphere against the United States by the Soviet Union. That's right. I'm calling you out, Mr. Khrushchev. That's right. I'm launching a whole quarantine, blockade on the little puppet state known as Cuba, on the little puppet Fidel Castro. You know, it's about time that we launch our own defense. You know, to deter. Goodbye.
Another U-2 spy plane was sent over Cuba to find the nukes armed and ready to be launched. The whole of XCOM began to panic when discovered, as the situation almost reached boiling point of Armageddon. After a few days of quarantine, Castro even worried over the imminent threat of the United States and decided to call Khrushchev to assure his safety.
Hola, comrade.
Hello, Comrade Castro. How are my nukes doing in Cuba?
We're all good, B. Just, you know, it'd be better if we could fire them at America right now.
Do not fire them.
I want to fire them. Now.
Firing the nukes will put my country's safety at risk.
The safety of my country, Cuba, is at danger to those capitalist pigs.
If you fire those nukes, both of our countries will be in jeopardy.
I do not care. I want to fire nukes now.
Do not fire the nukes. Wait for my word to fire them.
Well, that went well. The tension had boiled up so that the United Nations Council had to step in order to attempt to calm the flames that had been boiling. In doing so, they revealed the photos the US had photographed in their reconnaissance mission, confirming to the world that Cuba and the Soviet Union were lying, placing more tension on Khrushchev.
So I received a message from Khrushchev.
What does it say, sir?
It's a letter. It says that that he will remove the nukes from Cuba if we promise not to invade.
But Mr. President, what are we going to do?
And finally, we have reached the infamous day where Premier Khrushchev makes a public announcement towards Kennedy in an attempt to end the crisis before it ends the destruction of the world, known as Black Saturday.
Infinitivo pensar, pensaba, pensabas, dormir, duermes, yo tú es nosotros Jupiter missiles, comer, comida, beber, compromise, Cuba missiles, El Fidel Castro, Nikita Khrushchev, y John F. Kennedy, bebíamos, íbamos.
And with this, you will dismantle the nukes from Cuba?
Of course, of course. You also removed the nukes from Turkey, correct?
Oh, yes, but I will keep that on the down low.
Okay.
Comrades, I need say in this.
No, my nukes! My nukes!
With the end of the crisis, the whole world could take a breath. The world had come so close to Armageddon. In November of that same year, the quarantine had been lifted and the nuclear missiles had been removed, and a few months later, so were the Jupiter missiles stationed in Turkey, unbeknownst to the public. This crisis made the Soviet Union appear weak after the events, with Nikita Khrushchev losing power 2 years later as the first cracks of the Soviet Union began to show.